Have you ever paused, just for a quiet moment, and asked yourself, when we reach the autumn of our lives, when the house grows silent and the days slow down, what truly remains by our side? What becomes our anchor when even those we love most, the ones we once believed we could lean on forever, may no longer be there in the way we had imagined? It is a question that often sneaks up on us when we least expect it. And the answer, my dear friends, may surprise you. For much of our lives, we carry the comforting belief that family, our children, our spouse, our siblings, will always be our greatest support. And indeed, for many precious years, they are. But life, as it so often does, begins to shift. Children grow into their own lives, chasing dreams that carry them far from home. According to the United States Census Bureau, more than 15 million Americans aged 55 and older now live alone, and that number is growing. Friends who once shared our laughter slowly embark on their final journeys. Our siblings, once our closest companions, age beside us, carrying their own burdens and weariness. And even the spouse we have loved for decades may someday be taken from us by the inevitability of time. There comes a moment, sometimes slowly, sometimes all at once, when we find ourselves looking around and realizing that the people we love most may not always be able to be the pillars we lean on. Yet this truth is not meant to bring sorrow or fear. In fact, it is the very door through which we step into a deeper kind of wisdom, a wisdom that whispers. If you wish to walk through your later years with dignity, strength, and peace, you must build pillars that stand firm, regardless of who comes or goes. Pillars that support you not through obligation or blood, but because they are the fruits of your own hands. And the first of these, my friends, is financial independence. In the United States, nearly 25% of adults over 65 rely solely on Social Security for their income, often struggling to meet even basic needs. We have all heard that money cannot buy happiness, and that is true. But what money buys, especially after 60, is something perhaps even more valuable: freedom, safety, and peace of mind. Financial stability is not about being rich. It is about being free from the silent fears that gnaw at the heart when we worry about medical bills, daily expenses, or the haunting question of whether we will someday become a burden. And what a heavy burden it is, emotionally, mentally, and financially. The average cost of assisted living in the United States now exceeds $4,500 per month, while nursing homes cost twice as much. My dear ones, we deserve better than to live our later years in quiet fear. We must prepare while we still can, save, invest, learn, and protect our dignity by ensuring our financial foundation stands strong, like a lighthouse guiding us through life's inevitable storms. But wealth alone cannot protect us. The second pillar, equally vital, is the health of our body. Oh, how precious it becomes once we realize its true worth. No treasure compares to the blessing of good health. And yet, so many of us take it for granted until the day our bodies fail us. At 60, 70, or 80, the strength of our body becomes the key that unlocks everything else: our wealth, our relationships, our freedom. Without health, even the richest heart feels poor. The science is undeniable. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, reports that 80% of older adults in the United States live with at least one chronic disease, and 77% have at least two. But it does not have to be this way. Regular exercise, even as simple as daily walks or gentle yoga, combined with a balanced diet rich in vegetables, lean proteins, and healthy fats, these are not luxuries, but lifelines. Staying hydrated, getting proper sleep, and reducing stress become our most powerful medicines. Studies show that seniors who maintain physical activity lower their risk of heart disease, diabetes, and even cognitive decline by up to 40%. That is not just a statistic. That is the difference between merely surviving and truly living. And yet, even with wealth and health, we are not whole unless we nurture our third pillar, our social connections. Humans are, and will always be, social beings. Loneliness, especially in old age, is not merely an ache of the heart. It is a slow, silent killer. Research from Harvard and the World Health Organization reveals that chronic loneliness increases the risk of dementia by 50%, heart disease by 29%, and stroke by 32%. That is staggering. Simply by losing connection, we lose years from our lives. This is why it is not merely helpful but essential that we nurture old friendships, build new ones, and surround ourselves with people who see us, hear us, and remind us that we matter. Join a local club, volunteer, attend community gatherings, pick up the phone more often, or simply share a meal with someone you care about. These moments, small as they may seem, hold the power to extend our lives and fill them with meaning. And as we build these outward connections, so too must we tend to our inner world. The fourth pillar, lifelong learning. The mind, like the body, weakens when left unused. Yet the beauty of the human brain is that it can always learn, adapt, and grow. Neuroscience confirms this. Seniors who embrace learning, whether through reading, exploring new hobbies, studying languages, or even learning new technologies, not only sharpen their minds, but also reduce their risk of memory loss and increase their overall life satisfaction. In a world changing faster than ever, it is tempting to retreat. But, my friends, let us not be left behind. Lean into the change. Learn what once intimidated you. Surprise yourself. There is a joy unlike any other in proving that curiosity does not age. It only deepens. And through it all, another strength must quietly rise. The fifth pillar, emotional resilience. Life, as we know too well, is never without loss. By now, we have all buried dreams, said too many farewells, and watched the world change in ways we never imagined. But within us lies the extraordinary ability to adapt, to feel deeply and still rise. Psychologists call this emotional flexibility, and studies show that seniors who cultivate this resilience live longer, healthier, and far happier lives. This is not blind optimism. It is survival wisdom, the understanding that grief and joy can coexist, that sorrow does not diminish gratitude, and that every morning we open our eyes is still a gift worth unwrapping. And finally, perhaps the most sacred of all pillars, spiritual fulfillment. Call it faith, call it purpose, call it whatever you will, but the soul seeks peace. Not the noise of the world, not the empty chase of ambitions, but a steady, quiet meaning. For some, it is found in religion. For others, it is nature, art, meditation, or acts of kindness. Wherever you find it, nurture it. Because when the noise fades, when health weakens and relationships grow thin, what remains is this: the unshakable knowledge that your life mattered, that you loved well, and that you gave something beautiful back to this world. I share all of this, not as theory, but as hard-earned truth. If you have stayed with me until now, I urge you, begin today. Strengthen these 6 pillars, not tomorrow, not someday, but now. Because growing old is a privilege that many never receive. Living well in old age is a choice that belongs to us alone. Let us not wait for our children or society to care for us out of duty or pity. Let us prepare for ourselves, stand tall, and walk into our golden years not with fear, but with grace, power, and unshakable dignity. And in doing so, we offer our children the greatest gift of all, not the burden of caring for us, but the blessing of simply loving us. The time is now. The best chapters are still waiting to be written. Together, my friends, let us write them,